everybody, Cicely S. here, and as the title of this video will tell you, this is a casting call for an audio drama of the mystery short story Sherlock Holmes and the Blue Carbuncle. It takes place 2 days after Christmas, when the festivities are still going on and the holiday spirit is still lingering in the air, so I hope to have this audio drama out by Christmas to be appropriate for this setting, if I can. All things Sherlock Holmes are in the public domain, excepting the ones that were published in 1923 through 1927. Those are still under copyright. But The Carbuncle was first published in January 1892. So you see, it's good. This one is in the public domain, and I don't own any of it anyway. It's all the creation of the late but wonderful Arthur Conan Doyle. So there's my little disclaimer. Now, in honor of the story, I intend to leave the audio drama as close to the original story as possible, so I'm sorry, but Lestrade and Mrs. Hudson will not show up, though they will be mentioned. Also, everyone must have a British or Scottish accent of some kind, so if you're not a native, you must be able to pull off a convincing accent. For this reason, I won't be doing any voice work myself, because I cannot do a British or Scottish accent to save my life. I apologize to my fellow Americans. So here's the cast list, numbering 14 characters in total, and I'll add certain tips for certain characters when I get to them. First, the 3 female parts. The Countess of Morcar, the owner of the Blue Carbuncle. Catherine Cusack, lady-in-waiting to the Countess. Mrs. Oakshott, the married sister of James Ryder. And I really have no tips for these 3, so let's move on. Now for the male parts. There's a whole lot more. Sherlock Holmes, of course, Dr. John Watson, Holmes's companion, Peterson, a young police commissionaire, Mr. Henry Baker, the owner of a lost goose and a lost hat, the landlord of the Alpha Inn, called Mr. Whitley, Breckinridge, a goose salesman, John Horner, a plumber, James Ryder, a temporary employee of the Countess, Maudley, Ryder's friend, the court judge, Thug number 1, Thug number 2. So here are the tips I have for some of the male parts. First off, if you want to audition for Sherlock, please, please, please do not be a Benedict Cumberbatch copycat. Same goes for Watson. Don't make them from the modern BBC version. I'm not saying the modern BBC version is horrible. I love the modern BBC version. But the version of Holmes we get in the original story of the Blue Carbuncle, sorry guys. The version of Holmes we get in that is in the original story is not like the modern Sherlock Holmes. They're vastly different. Like the original Sherlock laughed, he would be merry and all that, and the BBC probably wouldn't be laughing that much. So yeah, they're vastly different. So make John and Sherlock your own characters. Copy them from the books and not the show. I mean, put some of yourself into it. Make them your own characters. Like, put your own style on it, you know? Have fun with it. Also, for Breckinridge, if you wish to voice Breckinridge, know that he shouts a lot. What Breckinridge does most of the time we hear him is yell his lungs out, because he's very easy to annoy, and people have been pestering him all day. Very quick-tempered and blunt he is. Mr. Henry Baker, as far as the story tells us, seems to be getting on in age, probably graying too, so that's something to keep in mind. Definitely nearing the end of middle age, but he's not out of middle age yet. And James Ryder is a young man, perhaps the same age or more likely younger than Watson, like early 20s or something. So as for recording rules, have a clear mic with as little background noise if possible. Repeat each line for the character you wish to audition for a minimum of 2 times. Improvise, experiment, have fun. Like I said before, you must have a British or Scottish accent or be able to fake one convincingly, and do have emotion to your lines. You can audition for as many characters as you want. If you're a woman and you want to audition for a male character, go for it. If you're a male and you want to somehow audition for a female character, I don't know how that'd work, but you can do that. I might be adding like minor characters, like characters that have 1 or 2 lines that just pop up. So I'll be adding that in further videos. Thanks to Tesla Manga Animator for adding the words in for this. Thank you very much, dear. Okay, so the lines for each character are in the description below. Please put the audition as a YouTube video and put the link to it in a comment. And to stall any questions, yes, this casting call will be open until I change the title and it will say that it's closed. So that's all. Bye, and have fun auditioning.